Good afternoon, everybody. Meteorologist Frank Gaetano here, live from the Hail Palace for our daily hail forecast. As always, sponsored by C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, American Contractor Show, and Atlas. The link to their Facebook pages is in the description to this video. Make sure you go check them out there. Thank you for sponsoring the videos. Going into our weather headlines, we have a couple of marginal risk areas today. Winds possible in the southeast portion of the country, and then a couple of storms are also possible up in Wisconsin. Pretty marginal risks for that. And then we're going to go over the storm report totals so far this year and see how we compare to last year at this point in the year. So I'll go over that in just a second here. And we have an additional tropical wave that's coming off the coast of Africa, but the probabilities for the others have been downgraded. We'll talk about why that is. First, as always, our upcoming events. This Saturday, we have our tailgate, the OU versus Kent State tailgate. So we're going to be next to where the Bud Wilkinson House on Jenkins Ave used to be. This graphic says 4 p.m. The tailgate actually starts at 2 p.m., so come get your free beer and free food at 2 o'clock on Saturday. So we're going to be out there with Beacon doing our tailgate. And then later on this month, we're going to be at the RCAT MRCA Roofing Conference. That's going to be in Fort Worth at the Fort Worth Convention Center, September 27th through the 29th. So we're going to have a booth there. Make sure you come out and see us there if you're going to the RCAT Roofing Conference. Go quickly over yesterday's storm reports. We didn't really have a lot happen yesterday. Pretty slow weather day. Couple of sub-severe reports. There was a few hail reports. These wind reports down here in the coast of Florida, this is all sub-severe activity, so generally in the 40s with most of these wind reports. And if we go back up here to the north, we had a few severe hail reports, but most of these are going to be of the sub-severe hail variety. So only a few severe hail reports with that activity yesterday. And then, like I mentioned, we'll go over the storm report totals. So this is what we had for storm report totals yesterday. No tornado reports, only 3 hail reports, and only 3 high wind reports. So where does we stack up since January 1st? Well, we're at just over 1,100 for tornado reports. That's not the number of tornadoes, that's the number of reports submitted for tornadoes. So just over 1,100 tornado reports, almost 6,000 large hail reports. We're just 11 short of that number, and then almost 20,000 high wind reports. That's a fairly large number, almost 20,000 reports of high wind. And then how do we stack up to where we were at this point last year? Well, we've been ahead in every category all year until today. We are 7 behind the tornado reports for last year, but we're still fairly well ahead on the hail reports, and then we are over 3,000 ahead on the high wind reports. So it has been pretty slow lately, but overall this year has been generally more active as far as hail and wind go compared to last year. Take a look at our current conditions around the country. Pretty good conditions through the Central Plains and up into the Ohio Valley. We do have that cold front that went through Minneapolis last night or early this morning. That is continuing to move southeastward. This is the activity associated with that cold front. And then we also have some showers and thunderstorms here in the southeast where we're going to be seeing a risk for some high winds, generally from northern Florida up into portions of Georgia and South Carolina. And again, take a look at this cold front here with the shower and thunderstorm activity moving off to the northeast. So cold front's draped right in here just to the east of Minneapolis. So Minneapolis is getting those rain and cooler temperatures currently. Take a look at those temperatures right now. You can see the delineation of where that cold front is coming here through the upper Midwest, and we're heating up here in the Central Plains, but that relief is on the way as this cold front is going to continue moving southeastward through the weekend. So we should see some relief here in the central and south central plains. That cold front is expected to make it into Texas at the end of the weekend into the beginning of next week. Here's our future radar for where that cold front is located. We're going to have this run through into the afternoon. So around 4:30, we do see a potential of a couple storms popping up just to the east of Minneapolis and working their way northeastward into the afternoon and evening hours. And then more redevelopment going into the evening, generally of the more linear variety. but we could see the potential for 1 or 2 storms that may be able to produce some marginally severe hail in the $1/4 to $1/2 range. It's pretty much the same thing what we saw yesterday, only a couple storms happened, but it's just a little further east here in northern Wisconsin now. And we'll let that play through as things wane off into the overnight hours and the activity dies down a bit. And we'll head to the southeast now, where we are seeing some activity. We have storms that we're going to be going into Florida, and we also have some storms here just off the coast of Georgia and South Carolina in the Savannah and Charleston area. We'll let this play through into the afternoon as more storms develop and work their way towards the northeast, towards Jacksonville. So Jacksonville, I would expect around 4 or 5 o'clock, have some storms in your area. Probably going to be subsevere, but there is a chance that we could see a couple of wind gusts in the 50 to 60 mile an hour range from these storms going through the Jacksonville area. And then they kind of linger into the evening just off the coast. Might have some storms run up onto the coast into the Charleston area this evening, and then these will be subsevere as we go into the overnight hours. The intensity will go down on these storms with the loss of that daytime heating. So today's hail forecast, pretty small area, just basically northern Wisconsin, the potential to get into upper Michigan up here. Not really too much population out here, so the cities I have highlighted for low-end risk is Ashland and Rhinelander. So low-end risk for the potential of $1/4 to $1/2 size hail if there's any storms out of those 1 or 2 storms that form later on go through that area. And then our wind forecast is going to be here in the southeast as we zoom in on into northern Florida. Low-end probabilities for Jacksonville, Valdosta, Savannah, and Charleston, as those storms in Savannah and Charleston are going to be pushing more northward and coming onshore from the Atlantic. Hail forecast for tomorrow, nothing really going on there. No hail expected, no severe storms expected for tomorrow, so nothing really to look at there too much. And so we're going to go into our extended look here. Here's that trough with the cold front that's pushing the cold front towards the southeast. And we're going to see over the last couple of days, we've been seeing this as it breaks off, and we have an upper level cutoff low here in the northern upper Midwest. And it's going to drift eastward over the next few days. Potential pretty low for severe weather with this. All the conditions are not there. There's some displacement of the upper level winds that would be more conducive to severe storms forming within this low. So the severe chances are pretty low with this. We may see a couple of marginal risks pop up in some small areas, but generally going to be pretty low. As that cold front, you can see the trough here. The cold front's going to be draping across like this and moving southeastward as this low drifts off to the east. So hopping into our tropical outlook, we have 3 areas to look at now. So past few days I've showed you we've had 2 areas to look at. They have an additional one now as a wave is expected to come off the African coast over the next couple of days. But first one we're going to talk about is this one, which was highlighted red yesterday for high probabilities. Those chances have gone down. Or actually, we're talking about this one now. 0% chance in the next 2 days. My mistake. 0% chance in the next 2 days and 20% over the next 5 days. Chances for that one have gone down as well. And then for our second one, here it is. We were 70-70 yesterday, so there were high probabilities. Today, we are at 30% for the next 2 days and 30% for the next 5 days. So significant drop off in the probabilities for development for that. And then our third wave we're going to talk about is the same as this one. Hasn't actually come off the coast yet, but they're expecting 0% chance in the next 2 days and 20% chance over the next 5 days. And you might be asking yourself, why did those probabilities drop? Well, right now, the upper level winds in the Atlantic are very much so not conducive for tropical development. It's causing a lot of shear in the atmosphere, which is hurricanes and tropical development. They do not like wind shear. So those upper level winds are causing a lot of upper level wind shear in the Atlantic, and just all these bright colors, that's where the shear is maximized, and this is where those waves are going to be drifting into to try to develop, and this upper level shear is going to hinder that from happening. And we're going through to the 13th here, it's still lingering. It comes out, drops down a little bit, but we still do see a lot of that shear in the area. So that's why those probabilities are dropping on those waves. But as always, stay tuned with us. We'll keep you updated on the tropics and any hail or wind chances that we have coming up. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. We're at HailTrace. Pretty easy to find us on all those. If you want to get in contact with us, 855-334-4245. You can email us at info@hailtrace.com or go straight to our website, www.hailtrace.com. But for now, I'm meteorologist Frank Gaetano. Everybody have a great rest of your Friday and a great weekend.